ukulele tutorial for an arrangement of Beyond the Sea, which is an English language version of the French song La Mer. The original song was written and recorded by Charles Trenet in 1945-1946, and the English version has been recorded by many artists, but Bobby Darin's recording from 1959 is probably the most well known. The song has a 48-bar sequence in a standard AABA form, with each section comprising of 12 bars, and has 3 key changes in it. For the sake of this tutorial, we'll be looking at the song starting and finishing in the key of C major. You may want to have a piece of paper and a pencil or pen handy to write down the chord sequence as we go. I've mostly kept the chords in open position throughout this arrangement, except where we change to E major, and there I've chosen to use a couple of bar chords at the 4th fret to make the arrangement slightly easier. You could of course elaborate on the chord voicings throughout and use more minor 7, major 7 chords, etc., but I'm keeping things relatively simple for the sake of this video. I've also created a backing track for the song that I'll link to in a card above for practice. And before we get into breaking the song down, please consider subscribing to my channel. It really helps me with making more of these video tutorials moving forward. The song is in 4/4 time and mostly has 2 chords per bar throughout, so 2 beats per chord. I generally play a down, down, up, down, down, up pattern for the whole bar, so each chord gets a down, down, up strum, half the pattern, before moving to the next chord, which gets the same again to complete the bar. Often I will also play a down, up for the second half of every other bar, just for a little variety. If I just demo this over the first 4 chords of the song, which will be C, A minor, D minor and G7. So if I play those 2 bars around a couple of times, it should sound something like this. Please note this is just a suggestion for the strumming, and feel free to experiment with any other rhythms you feel might work for the song. As I said before, the song is in an AABA form, so once we've learnt an A section, other than the slightly different ending each time, we effectively have 3/4 of the song worked out, and just need to learn the B section to complete the whole song. Then we just need to put it in some form of arrangement with an intro and an ending. As I also said earlier, the song has 3 key changes. Starts off in the key of C major for the first 2 A sections of the song. It then moves up a major 3rd to the key of E major for the first half of the B section. It then moves up a minor 3rd to the key of G major for the second half of the B section, and then finally resolves back to the original key of C major for the final A section of the song. The song also heavily features a 1-6-2-5 chord sequence, where we use the chords built off of the scale degrees 1, 6, 2 and 5 from the major scale in each key. This sequence is literally played around several times in each section in the relevant key. The chords for the A section start with the first bar sharing a C major and then an A minor, each taking 2 beats of the bar. In bar 2 we then have a D minor and then a G7, also evenly sharing the bar. Bars 3 and 4 are a repeat of the first 2 bars, so C, A minor, D minor, G7. In bar 5 we have a C major and then an E7 sharing the bar. In bar 6 we have an A minor and then a G7. In bar 7 we have a C major and then an A minor, which take us to bar 8 where we have an F and then an A7. In bar 9 we have a D minor and a G7, and then in bar 10 we have a full bar of A minor, so played for all 4 beats of the bar. In bar 11 we have a D7, played for another full bar, and finally in bar 12 we have another full bar of G7, which resets us to go back to the second A section. So let me just demo the first A section. Somewhere beyond the sea, somewhere waiting for me, It's worth noting at this point that the other two A sections, the one coming next and also the one that comes after the B section, are identical except for the last two bars, which are slightly different each time. So for the second A section, we would once again have a bar of C major and A minor. In bar 2, we have a D minor and then a G7. Bars 3 and 4 are again a repeat of bars 1 and 2, so C, A minor, D minor, G7. In bar 5 we have that C major and then an E7. Bar 6, an A minor, then a G7. In bar 7, a C major and then an A minor. In bar 8 we have an F and then an A7. In bar 9 a D minor and a G7. Bar 10 we have that full bar of A minor again. And this time around in bar 11 we have a D minor and a G7 sharing the bar. And in bar 12 we have a C for 2 beats of the bar and then a B7, which is setting us up for the key change to E major in the B section. So let me just demonstrate the second A section with the alternate ending in order to set us up for the key change into the B section. Somewhere beyond the sea, she's there watching for me. If I could fly like birds on high, then straight to her arms I'd go sailing. So we're now in the key of E major and we're going to play the same 1-6-2-5 chord sequence around a couple of times in this key. I'm choosing to use this voicing for E major and this one for C sharp minor, mostly as they are easier shapes to play and the movement between them makes sense. You could equally use any other voicings you know. A couple of other options for E major are here. And another common voicing for C sharp minor here. So bar 1 would be a split bar of E major and then a C sharp minor. In bar 2 we have an F sharp minor and then a B7. In bars 3 and 4 we again repeat bars 1 and 2, so E, C sharp minor, F sharp minor, B7. In bar 5 we have a full bar of E major, but I tend to just strum a single chord on the first beat of the bar and then leave the rest of the bar empty, because in bar 6 we have a full bar of D7, which is setting us up for the key change to G major for the rest of the B section. Again, I prefer to just strum this chord once on beat 1 of the bar and let it ring, as I feel it helps create more tension before the key change. So let me just demonstrate where we're up to in the B section before looking at the rest of it. It's far beyond a star, it's near beyond the moon. So for the rest of the B section we're now in the key of G major, and again we play the same 1-6-2-5 chord sequence around a couple of times in this key. So in bar 7 we'll have a G major and then an E minor sharing the bar. In bar 8 we'll have an A minor and then a D7. Bars 9 and 10 we repeat bars 7 and 8, so again G major, E minor, A minor, D7. In bar 11 we have a full bar of G major, and then in bar 12 we have a bar of G7, which sets us up for the move back to the key of C for the final A section. So let me just demonstrate the whole of the B section. It's far beyond a star, it's near So we're now in the final A section, which is the same as the first two, except in bar 11 we have a D minor and a G7, and then in bar 12 we could potentially finish the song with a single strum of C major, or we treat bar 12 as the beginning of a 4-bar outro of the song, which we would then play the same 1-6-2-5 loop around a couple of times to then end on the final chord of C major. Let me just demonstrate the final A section with the added 4-bar outro. We'll meet beyond the shore, we'll kiss just as before. Happy we'll be beyond the sea, and never again I'd go sailing. As I said earlier, there's a backing track to accompany this tutorial, linked in the card in the top right hand corner of this video and also in the description below. The backing track has all the chord names and sections highlighted as you play through the song. The arrangement has a 4-bar intro of C, A minor, D minor, G7, played around twice, and then the full A-A-B-A form with the 4-bar outro as just discussed at the end. So that wraps it up for this arrangement of Beyond the Sea. If you found the tutorial helpful, please consider subscribing to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and please leave a comment if you enjoyed it or have any questions. If you would like a PDF of the full lead sheet for the song with the lyrics and the chord shapes, buy me a coffee, see how to do so in the link below, and I'll email a copy over to you. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.